here we are all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Next time you stop at a soda fountain, look for the Horlick name at the malted milk dispenser. If it's a quality store you're in, you're almost certain to see it. Quality stores usually serve Horlick's malted milk as a regular feature. They know that for richness, for flavor, for results, this famous original malted milk is not to be compared with the many imitations of Horlicks now on the market. They are paying more to give you the best. The Horlick name at a soda fountain, then, is a sign of that store owner's high standard of selection. If you don't see it, ask the clerk to get Horlicks for you. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Yesterday, when a gentleman called on Lum and Abner and explained that he was connected with the law firm that is defending the old fellows in the lawsuit brought against them by Squire Skimp, Lum very willingly answered a list of questions regarding the case and signed his name to the statement. After he left, however, it was learned that the stranger is employed by Squire Skimp, and the information he secured will make damaging evidence when the case is brought to trial. As we look in on Pine Ridge today, we find Lum over at their picture show, the Pine Ridge Planetarium, evidently auditing the books. Listen. 6 and 2 is 10, or 8, yeah. Also, 4 is alt, and 4 is, 4. 3 and 7 is, 10, put down the 1 and carry the old, no. That's plain it. 6 and 2 is 8 and alt and alt.
I've been looking all over for you.
Well, come in, Dick. I was just figuring up our losses and profits on our picture show here.
Yeah? How's it coming out?
Well, I don't know yet. I sort of mixed up on my figures here. We've either made $300 or lost $300. I don't know which.
Oh, well, you're bound to be making money, Lum, amount of business you've been doing.
Yeah, I think so. I'm down there. Let it go. The more I figure on the thing, the worse mixed up I get.
When did you get back from the county seat?
Oh, about an hour ago, I reckon.
Any new developments in the lawsuit?
No, except things is looking awful unencouraging.
Oh, well, I wouldn't worry about it now, Lum. You can't tell about what a jury will decide.
I don't know, Dick. I'm getting sort of jubilant myself now. Even our lawyer says he don't think we stand a chance in the world. He says it looks like Squire's got an ironclad case against us.
Well, I'll declare. Why, you talked the other day like you wouldn't have any trouble at all.
Yeah, but all this new evidence Squire's got, he says it's going to ruin us.
You mean Abner breaking into Squire's house the other night to get that note back that you wrote him?
Yeah, he says that's going to be awful hard to get around, too.
Yeah, it's a shame that had to happen. Abner had no business doing that.
Well, I wouldn't be too hard on him about it, Dick. It was an honest mistake. He just never stopped to think. All of us makes mistakes once in a while. You know?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I make them myself sometimes. But I don't think we ought to blame a feller too much when he does something that way.
Well, that's funny. I thought you were pretty mad at Abner about that.
Well, I was till I got to studying it over. I think when one of us makes a mistake that way, we ought to just forget about it. Not even mention it.
Oh, sure. I'm glad to see you feel that way about it.
I might make some mistake sometime myself. And how would I feel if he got mad at me and kept bringing it up all the time?
Sure.
Like I told him yesterday evening, when a body makes a mistake, it's done made, so best thing to do is just forget about it.
I know you was back, Lum. When did you get in?
I got back about an hour ago.
Well, howdy, Dick.
How you, Abner?
Oh, all right, I reckon. What'd the lawyer have to say, Lum, Mr. DeLonghi?
Why, he weren't very encouraging, Abner. Said he's feared we ain't got a chance of winning the case, and he advised us to settle it out of court if we can.
Settle it out of court?
Yeah, all this new evidence Squire's got, he says, is going to ruin it.
Well, I'd have feared you fixed things yesterday afternoon, telling Squire's lawyer everything he knows.
What was you doing talking to Squire's lawyer, Lum?
Why, he come in here and fooled old Lum.
Now, Abner, we said we was going to forget about it.
Doggy Squire's lawyer come out here yesterday afternoon, Dick. Told Lum that he was Mr. DeLonghi's assistant. Said he's working for us, and asked Lum about the questions about Squire's accident and got Lum to sign it.
Go on, Abner, you tell everything you know.
Well, what is it had you sign, Lum?
Well, may as well tell you about it. A feller come in the store over there yesterday afternoon and said his name was Ferguson. And he was assistant to our lawyer, Mr. DeLonghi, and wanted me to answer some questions.
Yeah.
And I found out later he was one of them Mr. Clarks of the Clark and Clark outfit that's handling the case for Squire.
Yeah, I knowed who he was all the time, and Lum wouldn't let me talk, so I couldn't tell him. He was the one that you pointed out to me the other day, Dick, when him and Squire walked past your store down there.
Oh, yeah. Well, what did he get you to sign, Lum?
Well, I don't know. He asked me a batch of questions about the case, and he put out my answers on a piece of paper, and then I signed it.
What kind of question?
Now, I don't know if I can recollect all of them offhand or not. Something about if we had the right kind of lights in our show here. Do I think Squire would have fell down?
And Lum told him no.
Yeah.
You mean a statement admitting that you didn't have the proper lighting in your picture show here?
Yeah, I reckon I must have.
And he asked Lum if it had been him falling down in somebody else's theater, would he expect them to pay him for it if he got hurt? And Lum said sure he would.
Well, what in the world did you ever tell him any such thing as that for, Lum?
Well, I thought he was our lawyer all the time, and I was just giving him my honest opinions on it.
Well, if you feel that way about it, why don't you just go ahead and settle with Squire and give him what he's asking for?
Well, that's different. See, Squire never hurt himself in the first place, and in the second place, he fell down on a purpose, just so he could sue us for a batch of money.
Well, why did you tell that lawyer that you thought it was your fault?
Tell you the truth, Dick, that feller sort of asked them questions where I had to answer them that way. I don't know what was the matter with me.
Well, did you tell your lawyer all about this morning?
Yeah, that's what I went in to see him for.
Well, no wonder he advised you to settle the case out of court then, Lum.
Well, of course, it ain't my fault now. That feller taking advantage of me, telling me he was one feller when he was somebody else. That's just downright cheating. Can they use evidence like that in court when they get it that way?
Well, yeah, I suppose so.
I couldn't have him arrested for obtaining evidence under false pretenses like you can money, could I?
No, if you signed your name to those questions and answers, Lum, well, you'll probably hear it read in court tomorrow.
Granny, it used to be when they had a trial in court this way, they just submit all the evidence to the jury and let them decide which one was in the wrong in a case like this. Nowadays, there's more underhanded outside work getting a case before it comes to trial than there is in the courtroom. Looks like facts don't mean nothing no more.
Well, that's not always true, Lum. As a whole, the legal profession is ethical, all right. A man can get justice in our courts. Occasionally, you run across some lawyer like this bunch is handling a case for Squire that's unethical, but not often.
I wish this case was over with. Swan, I was worried myself sick over it.
Well, you should have had some liability insurance here on your show and avoided all this trouble and worry.
Had some weight.
Some liability insurance. Dealing with the public like this, you and Abner, you've got to have yourselves protected.
Yeah, I know it. Hi, Grannies, I'm going into the county seat early in the morning for the trial and find some insurance salesman and every kind of insurance is on this place they've got. From here out, I'm going to let the insurance company do the worrying when something happens.
Why, sure.
I'll get liabilities and property damages and fire and theft and floods and cyclones and tornadoes and anything else they can sue us over.
Well, there ain't no use to buy no cyclone insurance, Lum. Nobody can start one of them.
No, can't nobody stop one of them neither.
I was just thinking, Lum, if your lawyer says himself that there isn't a chance for you to win this suit and he advised you to settle the case with Squire out of court, well, I believe I'd do that and save all that court expense.
Well, you were telling us the other day to go ahead and try the case. Let it come to trial. Squire's won a third interest in a picture show if we settle it out of court, and you said it'd be cheaper on us to take it to court and lose and have to pay him the $1,000 because a third interest in the show is worth more than that.
Yeah, but where are we going to get the $1,000 cash if we lose?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, Lum. If he gets a judgment against you and you haven't got the $1,000, well, he can tie up everything you've got.
Tied up.
Yeah, what do you mean tied up?
Well, run an attachment on your show here. He can attach your box office here and get every nickel you take in till he gets his $1,000.
Oh, my goodness. Why, if he done that, we'd just have to close the show up. We couldn't have enough money to buy films with.
Yeah, that's what I say. He can close you right up.
I never thought about that.
Well, why don't we just give him a third interest, Lum? I'd rather do that than to have the whole show closed.
I just hate to let Squire Skimp get the best of it. That'd be just the same as giving him a third interest in our show. He ain't no more got it coming to him than anybody else here in town. And there's hundreds of them I'd rather give something to if we're just going to make somebody a present or something.
Yeah, it looks like a shame, all right, Lum.
You weren't no more hurt than you was. Just laid down there in the aisle and made out like he's hurt, I know.
Well, I hate to see you do it too, Lum, but by George, it looks like the only way out.
Yeah, let's settle with him and get it over with so we can quit worrying about it.
Well, I reckon I may as well call him up then and tell him to call off the trial if we're willing to meet his time.
And tell him I said he can just go jump in the lake. That's who he is.
I'd rather take a whipping than to do this. Just as we're doing so well with the picture show, too.
Yeah, I know and reason he'll try to run things. Couldn't nobody get along with him, that's right.
Hello? Squire?
I hate him to pieces.
This is Lum and Abner talking. Yeah, I've got some good news for you.
That's good to me.
I just called you up to tell you that there ain't no use to have the trial tomorrow. No, me and Abner talked it over and decided we'll settle with you out of court and go ahead and give you third interest in our picture show.
Well, he said there wasn't nothing else to do.
Huh? Well, you said you would the other day. You said... Well, we ain't got no $1,000, though. We can't. That's the reason we're offering to settle out of court. We know we couldn't raise the money if you win the case. Yeah, you can run a attachment, I reckon, but that ain't... Well, all right, if you're just bound and determined to take it court, we'll go to court with it. We'll see you in at the county seat at 10 o'clock tomorrow, then. All right.
What's the matter, Lum?
Says he's decided he don't want to settle it out of court now. He'd rather have the $1,000. Now what are we going to do?
Unless Lum and Abner can dig up some new evidence before that case comes to trial tomorrow, it looks like the old fellows are in for some real trouble. Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Suppose you were buying a certain food product for your family, and you had a choice of two kinds. Cost a little less than the other, but contained inferior ingredients. Which kind would you buy? The one that cost a little more, of course. It's equally certain that you'd always buy Horlicks if you only knew how superior Horlicks is. If you only knew that whereas the imitations and substitutes offered contain skim milk, inferior malt powder, and raw cocoa, Horlicks uses only rich, full cream milk, carefully selected wheat and malted barley, prepared under the supervision of experts. Next time you're buying malted milk, remember this, and insist on Horlicks, the original. Your druggist has it, you know, in both natural and chocolate flavors. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Well, you know Squire Skimp is suing Lum and Abner and the Pine Ridge Planetarium for $1,000 personal damages for injuries he was supposed to have received when he fell in their theater a short time ago. The case is being tried in at the county seat today, and as we look in on the courtroom now, the case is well underway. Lum hasn't yet arrived, and the testimony so far has been very much against our old friend. We find Abner and Dick Huddleston and Grandpappy Spears seated together near the witness stand. Listen.
What they doing now, Dick? What's the matter?
Why, they're looking up some point of law there, I think, Abner, some technicality. They've done nothing but argue ever since the case started.
No, they ain't. Well, I hope they have a hard time finding. Give Lum a chance to get you.
Hey, whereabouts did Lum say he's going at anyway, Abner?
Why, he stopped by that insurance office to buy some liabilities insurance on our picture show. Said he never wanted to go through another lawsuit like this, out he's protected.
He must be buying them out, taking him this long. Trial will be over before he gets here if he don't hurry up.
Well, yeah, your lawyer was asking for him a while ago. Wanted to call him up there on a witness stand.
Bet he don't even show up. Knows he ain't got a chance to win the case no way.
No, he said he'd be right on over here. Something must be a keeping him.
He may as well stay away for all the good he'll do him. That testimony of Snake Hogan's and Doc Miller's is going to be hard to ever get around.
Yeah, Doc Miller. Supposed to be a friend of ours. Getting up there on a witness stand a while ago and saying that he couldn't tell whether Squire was hurt or not. He knows good and well that he weren't hurt.
Why, of course he weren't. Well, he just said that Squire claimed he's hurt in the back, Abner, and that it was impossible for a doctor to tell about an injury in the back that way.
A bunch of Germans up there all nodded their heads when he said that, too.
Yeah, I've seen him.
I believe they've already got their minds made up to give Squire the $1,000 damages.
Yeah, look at him sitting up there. That's the meanest-looking bunch of fellers I ever seen, all in one bunch.
Yeah, when the judge asked if anybody wanted to challenge the jury a while ago, Cedric jumped up and wanted to fight the little fella on the end. Did you hear him?
Yeah, looks like they're mad because they have to be up here from the looks on their face.
Yeah, I'd hate to have them trying me for something, passing judgment on me. They'd about send a fella to the electric chair over nothing.
Why, sure they would. Be tickled to death to do it. And look at Squire over there. Dad's blame his ornery side. I hate that old man to pieces. Look at him sitting there smiling.
Yeah, he knows he's going to win. That's real.
More like they're sitting there trying to figure out some way to spend the money right now.
Yeah, old Squire's pretty confident, all right. You can tell that.
I believe they've got that settled now over there, ain't
Yeah, I believe they have it turned around now.
Order in the court, please. Call the next witness.
We'd like to call the plaintiff, M.K. Skimp, Your Honor.
Call Mr. Skimp to the witness stand, please.
M.K. Skimp? M.K. Skimp?
Yes, coming.
Yeah, look at him strutting up there like an old turkey gobbler. So wonder he don't fall over backwards.
Yeah, I wished he would.
Raise your right hand. Be sworn, Mr. Skimp. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Mr. Skimp, will you be good enough to tell the jury, in your own words, the details of the accident you experienced in the Pine Ridge Planetarium?
Why, yes, I'll be glad to. I walked up to the box office that night and bought a ticket just like any other customer would, and walked down the aisle to find a seat. It was so dark I couldn't see where I was going, and the first thing I knew, I stumbled over something and fell. I evidently hit the back of my head against one of the seats there, because when I gained consciousness, I was over at my home in bed, and the doctor was there. Since that time, I've suffered untold pain and agony in the back of my head and spine.
And you're now only asking for $1,000 for those injuries?
Yes, defendants in this case are old friends of mine, and I hate to ask for anything at all. But I believe you gentlemen in the jury will agree with me that I should have...
I object, Your Honor, to the witness talking directly to the jury.
Objection sustained. The witness will confine his testimony to the questions asked him, please.
That's all. The defense may have the witness.
No questions, thank you.
Witness dismissed. Call the next witness, please.
We'd like to have Mr. Lum Edwards, Your Honor.
Call Mr. Edwards, please.
Mr. Edwards? Mr. Edwards? Well, he ain't here yet. He stopped by the insurance company a while ago, but he said he'd be right on over here directly.
We'd like to have Mr. Peabody on the witness stand then, Your Honor.
Call Mr. Peabody, please.
I heard him. I'm coming. Raise your right hand. Be sworn. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Sure. I do.
Mr. Peabody, I have a letter here which you wrote to defendant Mr. Skimp the day following the accident. Will you please look at it and tell the court if this is your signature?
Tell him if it's my what?
Your signature. Did you sign this?
Oh. Yeah, that's my handwriting, all right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's Lum's right there, too. I know his writing when I see it.
Yes, well, thank you. I'd like to read this letter and submit it as evidence in this case. This is a note the plaintiff received from the defendant while he was confined to his bed after the accident. Dear Squire, it reads, we are awful sorry you got hurt when you fell down in our picture show last night. We feel bad about it because we know it's our fault for not having more light in there so you could see where you was going. Anything we can do for you, be sure and let us know, for we feel responsible for the whole business. Yours truly, Lum Edwards and Abner Peabody. You admit writing this note, do you, Mr. Peabody?
Why, well, yes, we sent it over to sort of try to cheer Squire up, you know.
You admit, then, that you don't have the proper lighting facilities in your theater.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know I ain't never fell down, I know that.
That's all. Defense may have the witness.
No questions. That's all, Mr. Peabody. Call the next witness.
I think that's sufficient testimony, Your Honor. The defense can call their witnesses now, if they have any.
Your Honor, I'd like to call Milford Spears to the stand, please. Call Milford Spears.
Hey, get up there, Grandpap.
Milford Spears? Milford Spears?
And be careful what you say up there, too.
I know what I'm doing. Get up. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Your name is Milford Spears, is it not?
Yeah, they call me Grandpap, but that ain't my real name.
Mr. Spears, how long have you known the plaintiff here, Mr. Skimp?
Why, ever since he moved to Pine Ridge, I reckon, about 4 years ago. Come here from Missouri, you know.
Well, do you think that he's a man that would pretend to have been injured just to collect damages?
I know that blame well.
I
object, Your Honor. The witness is merely expressing his personal opinion.
Objection sustained. The jury will please disregard the witness's answer to the last question.
That's all. Your witness. Why, Mr. Spears, a short time ago, you were in Mr. Skimp's employ, were you not?
Yeah, I work for him, that's what you mean.
And you and Mr. Skimp had a kind of a falling out when he discharged you, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I reckon we did.
You have no use whatsoever then now for Mr. Skimp.
Well, I don't know if I've got any love.
And you are now in the employee of Mr. Edwards and Mr. Peabody.
Yeah, I'm working for Lum and Abner now.
That's all.
Call the next witness, please. I'd like to have Cedric Weehunt called to the stand, please. Call Mr. Weehunt.
Mr. Weehunt? Mr. Weehunt? Go on up there, Cedric.
Yes, I'm on.
I believe he's making a mistake calling Cedric up there.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Mom. Your name is Cedric Weehunt. Yes, Mom, that's what it is. Mr. Weehunt, you were employed by Mr. Skimp for a while, were you not? Yes, Mom, but when Mr. Lum and Mr. Abner closed up his show for him, I quit him. Did you ever hear Mr. Skimp make any threats against Mr. Edwards or Mr. Peabody?
I object, Your Honor.
Yes, Mom. He said he'd get even with him if it's the last thing he ever
I
done.
object to that question, Your Honor, and ask it to be stricken from the record.
Objection overruled. Proceed. Do you think that the accident Mr. Skimp is supposed to have had was his way of making good his threat to get
I
even?
object, Your Honor. I object to that question.
Objection sustained. That's all. Your witness.
Mr. Spears. No, Mr. Weehunt, I believe it is.
Yes, Mom.
Yes. You testified a while ago that you quit the employee of Mr. Skimp. While in reality, Mr. Skimp fired you, didn't he?
No, Mom. He just shut up his show and I had to quit.
Yes. You are now in the employee of Mr. Edwards and Mr. Peabody, are you not?
Yes, Mom. I'm working for him.
That's all.
Judge, yonder comes Lum now.
Well, I'd like to have Mr. Edwards placed on the witness stand, please, Your Honor. Mr. Edwards, will you come right on up to the front,
Look
please?
at old Lum. He looks like he's run all the way over here.
Yeah. It's where I want to get, Your Honor. I've got some new evidence here.
Well,
Mr. Edwards, in, please.
raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Now, Your Honor, the reasons I'm late for the trial, I'm all out of breath. I come by the insurance company to buy some liabilities insurance for our theater, and while I was there, the insurance man told me that he sold Squire Skimp a life insurance policy just 2 days after that accident was supposed to happen. He was examined by a doctor, and they just got notice back this morning that he passed the physical examination and was accepted.
I object, Your Honor. I object,
Your Honor, I move that the case be dismissed. The plaintiff could have suffered no ill effects from the alleged accident. He would not have been...
Well, what do you know about that? It looks like Squire Skimp also makes mistakes. Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Before we go down to Pine Ridge, I'm going to answer the question, what is the difference between Horlicks, the original malted milk, and imitations? First, where Horlicks uses only rich, full cream milk, many imitations use skim milk powder, but that only partly accounts for Horlicks' superior quality. Second, where Horlicks contains only selected wheat and their own malted barley, many of the imitations contain a lot of raw cocoa, ordinary sugar, and inferior malt powder. That's what accounts for Horlicks' superior flavor. Third, where Horlicks' process conserves the precious vitamins and minerals and softens the curds of the milk in Horlicks, many imitations are just mechanically stirred up mixtures. That is the reason for Horlicks' greatly superior digestibility. Therefore, for quality, flavor, and results, insist on Horlicks, the original. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. The case of M.K. Skimp versus Edwards and Peabody, proprietors of the Pine Ridge Planetarium, to collect $1,000 personal damages, was dismissed by the judge last Friday. Just as it looked to be a certain victory for the Squire, Lum produced evidence showing that Squire had applied for some life insurance since the accident in the theater and had passed a physical examination, proving there could have been no serious injuries resulting from the fall. As we look in on Pine Ridge today, we find Abner and Grandpappy Spears down at the Jot 'em Down store. Lum is just approaching. Listen.
Yeah, look at him strutting up out there. He puts me in mind of old Turkey Gobbler.
Yeah, Lum's mighty proud of himself over the way that lawsuit come out.
Oh, he don't give that lawyer we had credit for nothing. Says he's the one that win the case himself.
Never mind now what you're saying, Abner.
Yeah.
Gentlemen. Well, howdy, Lum.
Hey, Lum, Ezra Seastone called up for you a while ago.
Oh, he did, huh? What does he want?
Well, he never said. I told him you was out loafing around town summers, but I'd have you call him when you come in.
Well, don't never tell nobody I'm out loafing. Tell them I'm tied up on a case when they call that away.
Tied up on a case?
Law case. See that book there?
Yeah. Where'd you get that at?
Well, it belongs to me.
Well, what you canning around under your arm for?
This is a law book. Book of statutes. Folks ask me some question about law matters, I can just look it up for them right there. See, since that trial Friday, I'm getting sort of a reputation as a legal advisor.
Yeah.
Folks is wanting to get my advice about one thing or another, and I can tell them this way.
Well, I do know.
And you sure made them sit up and take notice at the trial, when you come in there and told them about Squire buying that insurance. Oh, yeah. I held them spellbounded, all right. You could hear the pin drop anywhere in the room there.
Well, I don't know as I'd go so far as to say that, Lum. Unless it was a fountain pen or a rolling pin or something.
Well, I knowed we was same as had the case won when that insurance man told me Squire had bought a policy from me. My legal mind started working right then. See, when Squire passed a physical examination for the insurance, that showed right there that you weren't serious hurt in the accident.
Yeah, I know. You done explained that to me a dozen times.
Well, quick thinking on my part's what it was. I see right now I ought to have been a lawyer. Here, I've been wasting my time just as a patient around here when I could have had my own law office right here. Edwards, and Edwards. Attorneys in law.
Who?
Edwards, and Edwards. Sort of like that Clerk, and Clark outfit in that county seat.
Well, who's them other two Edwards there? Some of your relations?
No, I don't know. I was just thinking what a good name that'd make for a law office.
Oh.
Might could find a couple of other Edwards or somewhere.
Yeah, my.
Hey, you aiming on practicing law now, Lum? Practicing? I don't need no practice. Anybody can win a case like that in West Friday. It's already law. You don't need no practice or nothing. I see right now I've been hiding my talents under a bushel basket.
You been doing what?
Hiding my talents under a bushel basket, I said.
Bushel basket?
Some kind of a basket. I doubt where I could get them all under a bushel.
Now, you're thinking about lights, ain't you, Lum? Hiding your lights under a bushel. That's the way the saying goes.
I know how it goes. It'll work on talents just the same as lights. I know what I'm hiding.
Well, I don't see no sense in hiding either one of them under there myself.
I don't neither. That's why I'm going to quit it, too. I'm going to open up a law office.
And that's what I was talking about a while ago. Well, Lum, you've got enough stuff to look after around here without getting into something else. Just looks like you ain't satisfied unless you're starting something new all the time. Even my constable work takes up more time than I ain't got or to be spending on other things.
Oh, well, this store and that picture show and my guesses are peaking. I can do all that with my left hand. Feller's got a brain like mine. He's got to keep it busy. Like that old Eddard saying, all work and no play makes Jack no. Let it go. Nothing. See there, I can't even keep up with my own brain. Just runs away with itself sometimes. I can be just sitting around like this. My mind just keeps right on going. One big idea right after another.
Well, I do know.
Wonder to me, them wheels up there ain't wore plumb out. All that thinking. Turning big problems over in my mind. Wonder I don't have a nervous shakedown sometimes.
I believe that's all right.
Yeah, I'll answer it.
It might be Ezra. You forgot to call him back like I told him you would.
Eddard's talking.
Wait a minute, Lum. You ain't took the receiver off the hook there.
I know it. I was just seeing how it sounded over the telephone.
Oh.
Hello? Yeah, this is him. Who? Oh, howdy, Ezra. Yeah, Abner told me you called, but I've been sort of tied up on a case and couldn't. Huh? Jim Collins. No, I don't, Ezra. Last I heard of him, he lived over there on Breck Street somewhere.
Jim Collins lives out there this side of the Pleasant Valley Schoolhouse now, Lum. He's sharecropping the old Medford place.
How much does he owe you, Ezra? Well, I believe I could take that to court for you and collect it.
Oh.
Yeah, bring suit again. Why, of course I can. You just leave it to me. I'll get that money for you. I'll file suit first thing in the morning. Huh? Oh, I don't know. About $25, I reckon. We had to pay that lawyer Irish $50 in there at the county seat the other day, and I done most of the thinking for him. Fact is, I same as win the case single-handed.
Well, I didn't pay nothing.
Huh? Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, how about 15 cents then? I ought to have something out of it. Got to draw up all them papers and stuff and cross-examine everything. Submit the case to the juries and stuff like that. Well, you come over and bring all the evidence you've got. Well, ain't you got no proof of no kind that he bought the corn from you? Oh, well, if you got a letter from him, that's all you need. We can get him for using the mail to defraud, too. All right, Ezra. You'll be famous for this, being my first customer. Not at all. Not at all. Goodbye.
What's the matter with Ezra?
Oh, he talked me into handling a little case for him.
Well, you sure come down on your prices there, from $25 down to 15 cents.
Yeah, Jim don't owe him but $1.25. He couldn't afford to pay me $25 to collect no 6 mount as that.
Well, Jim Collins owes us about $12 here at the store, Lum. If you're going to collect something, why don't you get that?
That's right, ain't it?
Why, sure. We've sent him a statement every month for the last 2 years, and he don't pay no more attention to him than nothing.
I agree. We'll see how it come out on collecting that bill of Ezra's, and if it works all right, we'll bring suit again. Now, you fellas have old Jim in court all summer to where he can't make a cop bringing all these suits again.
Yeah, I feel sort of sorry for Jim. He's had a hard row of stumps. Lots of sickness in his family.
Oh, Doc never ain't missed a day hardly going over there. You sit regular as a thumb on a mitten.
Yeah, and Jim's a good man at heart. Works hard. Just looks like luck had just turned like Squire back at the beginning.
Yeah.
I was just thinking I might could just pay Ezra that $1.25 Jim owes him. Just pay him out of my pocket. Sort of use that for advertising.
Advertising?
Yeah, Ezra will tell everybody he sees I collected a debt for him he weren't able to get, and that'll bring me a lot of business.
Well, how are you going to make any money practicing law going around paying everybody's debt from?
Well, that's the only one I aim to do that with. I'll make up for it on some other case.
Yeah, Lum, you can't be too easy in this law business. That's going to be your trouble.
Well, I've known Jim a long time.
Lum, there's a phone again.
Well, wait a minute. I'll answer it. Might be another law customer.
Oh.
Hello? Eddards, the attorneys in law talking. Huh? Oh, just a minute. You, Abner.
Well,
Somebody wanting a constable. Sounded like Luther Phillips' woman.
well, I do know. Reckon what's happened now.
I don't know, but you ought to be using this phone unless it's something important.
Hello? This is him talking. Where? Who does it belong to? Oh, you don't. Well, I'll come over there then and run him out of your garden for you, Miss Phillips. Yes, Mom. All right.
Wait a minute. What is it, Abner?
Just a minute, Miss Phillips. Hold the receiver. Somebody's horse has broke into her garden and tore down the fence,
Well,
Mom.
here, let me talk to her. Hi, Granny, there's the case right there.
Oh,
Miss Phillips, this is Lum Edwards, attorney-in-law. Did I understand you Abner was telling me somebody's horse broke into your garden? Well, if he's learned something, there ain't no reason why you can't lawsuit him. Why, sure, collect damages, destroying property and disturbing your peace. Oh, he did? Well, that's just as good as you want him. If he kicks at you, why, you can get him for assault and battery, too. Too bad he missed you, for if he'd broke some ribs or something, you could have sued him for personal damages, too. Well, don't worry, there's plenty of other things I can get him for. You've got a perfect case against whoever owns that horse. Make him pay for having a new fence built and pay for what damage he did to the garden, and letting a vicious animal run loose on the street, and violating the stock law, and assault and batteries, and I ain't sure but what we can dig up 3 or 4 other charges against. Mom? Oh, I don't know. I'll be reasonable about the charges. Might take it on an infringement basis. Just divide up whatever we collect off of it. All right. Just recollect now, you've got damages coming to you there, so don't let nobody talk you out of it. All right. Not so. Just proud to help you. Just leave it to me. We'll make an example out of him. All right, Miss Phillips. Goodbye. Then I'll make a reputation out
Well,
of this.
for goodness sake, reckon what's Cedric in such a hurry about?
I just watching him running up there. He's coming in the store here,
Yeah,
too.
yeah, sure is.
Maybe something else has happened. This law business don't keep me busy. I can see that
What
right
in the
now.
name of common sense is the matter with you, Cedric? What you running about?
Mr. Lum, you better get over to Luther Phillips' place as quick as you can.
Luther Phillips' place.
Yes, Mom. Your horse is broke out, and he's over there in her garden right now.
Well, this little case may dampen Lum's legal ambitions before he gets started. Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. I wonder how many of our listeners are using the Horlicks breakfast plan. You know the one I mean, the Horlicks malted milk, hot or cold, in the place of tea or milk or coffee. Besides being a delicious, welcome change, Horlicks makes a fine, healthful beverage for the whole family, a valuable addition to the diet. A cupful of Horlicks often supplies all the nourishment that one wants for breakfast. That's because of the vitamins and minerals this famous food drink contains. In addition, Horlicks is so much easier to digest that it keeps you feeling fit and alert all day. If you haven't any Horlicks in the house, get a package from your druggist and serve Horlicks for breakfast tomorrow. You have a choice, you know, of 2 flavors, either natural or chocolate. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Since Lum uncovered the evidence that won the lawsuit Squire Skimp brought against them, he has decided he's quite a legal mind. In fact, he plans to open up a law office in Pine Ridge and has found a client already. Yesterday, upon learning that a horse had broken into Mrs. Luther Phillips's garden, he advised her to bring suit for damages against the owner, only to learn later that it was his own horse. As we look in on Pine Ridge today, we find Lum down at the Jot 'em Down store, seated at his desk, completely surrounded with law books. Abner is just entering. Listen.
Well, where you been?
Oh, I just over to the picture show for me and Cedric.
Have you and Cedric been running them pictures again just for yourselves? Or
No, we ain't been running a picture. I was just writing on the blackboard out in front what we was going to have at the show tonight.
I wrote it on there myself last night.
Yeah, I know, but the rain washed it off, too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the rain. Well, did Cedric get the show swept out good?
Yeah, it's all ready. He went over to the blacksmith shop to help his paw for a while. I seen Squire Skimp just now, Lum.
Well, I ain't saw Squire since his trial Friday. What did he have to say?
Nothing. He never even spoke. Just walked right by me. I said, "Howdy, Squire," and he just ignored me.
Well, still mad about losing that lawsuit, I reckon.
Yeah, well, he's still making his brag, says he's going to get even with us.
Yeah, Mose Moot was telling me he was in the barber shop yesterday saying he weren't done with us yet.
Well, he can't turn around and sue us again now, can he?
Oh, no. The case has done been throwed out of court.
Yeah.
He's just talking.
Exaggerating.
Yeah, it looks like he'd have learned by this time. He's up against a couple of fellers. It's just a little too smart for him. Or one of us, anyway.
One of us?
Yeah.
Well, now, you're just as smart as Squire is, too, Lum. You're just too modest about bragging on yourself.
Well, I wasn't. I never married nothing.
No, say, it just looks like that we've got Squire headed off any way he finds.
Yeah, he used to always get the best of us.
Yeah.
I'm just now catching on how to handle that fella. I bet he is aggravated over the way that trial come out. Here, just the day before the trial, we was trying to give him a third interest in the picture show to settle the case out of court, and he wouldn't do it.
No, he thought he had the same one, yeah.
He never stopped to think what a terrible hand I was when it comes to the law matters of it.
No. Are you still aiming on opening up your law office?
Well, I don't know. I about just decided to stick to the picture show and the store business.
Yeah. What you got all them law books out there on the desk for, then?
Oh, I was just looking up some statutes here. Looks like I sort of got myself into it yesterday advising Miss Phillips to bring suit against the owner of that horse that broke into her garden.
Has she found out that it was your horse yet?
No, and she ain't going to neither if I can help it. What I'm trying to do now is study up how I can talk her out of bringing suit.
Yeah.
I spent 15 minutes yesterday afternoon talking her into it. Now I've got to get out of it some way.
Well, I'd just call her up and tell her that it was your horse and you can't bring suit again yourself, Lum. She'll understand that.
That's the trouble. I'm afraid she will understand that.
Oh.
She'll have to turn it over to some other lawyer, and he'll bring suit.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Well, she's aiming on getting a lot of money out of it, all right. For when I went over there after the horse yesterday afternoon, why, she said she was glad that it broke in. That Mr. Edders is going to collect a lot more damages than the stuff was worth for her.
Yeah, I ought to have found out whose horse it was before I suggested bringing suit.
Oh, yeah, you talked her right into it yourself, Lum. She'd have never thought about it if you hadn't brung it up.
What all did I tell her she could sue him for?
Oh, Lord, me, I don't recollect what all you did say. Violating the stock law and assaulting batteries. Of course, the horse kicked at her, you know. Said you could make them pay for all the damage that he done to her garden and make them build her a new fence.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know
Did
what.
I say all them things sure enough?
Yeah, you sure did, Lum. I sat right here and listened to you.
I'm too good a lawyer, you know it.
Too good.
Yeah, that's my trouble. I study up too many charges to get a man on. Take the average lawyer, he wouldn't have thought of nothing except maybe violating a stock law or something like that.
No.
Been satisfied with it.
Yeah.
That's why I say I've got a sure enough legal mind. Here I've got enough charges to might not send myself to the penitentiary for the rest of my life. Unless I can talk her out of it.
Well, why don't you just swap the horse off before she finds out who it belongs to?
I don't think that'd do no good. She'd know the horse if she seen it, and she ever seen somebody driving him down the street, like she'd more likely to jump on them about it.
Yeah.
Then they'd tell her where they got him at.
Natural.
I think I'll just telephone her up and tell her I looked up the law on it, and I advise her not to bring suit. Tell her she ain't got no grounds for a case. She ought to take her own lawyer's advice, or
Yeah, sure. That's a good way out of it. Why don't you just call her, Lum? That's a good idea.
ain't hurt nothing, no.
Why, no.
Yeah, what's her ring?
I believe it's 3 short. I ain't for sure, Lum, but I believe that's what it is.
Try that anyway.
It's a good thing that Luther never got home before I took that horse away from her. He'd have known who it belonged to.
Yeah, I would have been a goner sure enough if he'd ever quit. Hello? Miss Phillips?
You got yourself talked yourself right in.
Well, I weren't for sure whether this was your ring or not. This is Lum Eddard, your lawyer.
This is on call.
Yes, Mom.
Honey,
Why, I called you up about that case. I've been looking up the statutes on that. Statute. The law. Yes, Mom, and I can't see where you can sue a man for something his horse done. And, of course, it wouldn't do no good to sue the horse.
Oh, he ain't got nothing.
Now, if it had been me if it been the owner of the horse that broke in and had up your garden, we'd have it.
Oh, no man's gonna eat all this.
You're sure it was the horse, ain't you?
I know. I went after him, Lum. I know it was a horse.
Well, my advice to you as your consul is to just draft the charges. Well, I've looked up the law careful, and I can't see no grounds for divorce or suit. Well, I'd rather just turn down the case altogether and to take something to court that way that I know we ain't got a chance to win. You'll do what?
By the way, you don't want her to win.
Well, I don't think that'd do no good. I can handle it just as good as any other lawyer for his head goes, but well, you're just wasting your time, I can tell you that. Well, now, when I said yesterday not to let nobody talk you out of it, I never meant me. I meant anybody else. Well, of course, I can't keep you from it, but it... Hello? Hello? Now I got myself into it.
What's the matter?
There's a stubbornness one moment I ever seen in my life. How Luther puts up with her more than I can see.
Hey, what'd she say, Lum?
Why, she's going to hire some other lawyer to handle a case for her.
Oh, my goodness, live you hair into it now, showing up.
You got to head her off before she finds out whose horse that was.
We have. Well, we just get out here in the road and stop her when she comes by, then. That's all.
I ain't talking about that kind of heading off.
Oh.
Well, you've got to help me out of this. Come here and call her up and tell her you know who the horse belongs to and you don't think she ought to bring suit.
Tell her that I know who the horse belongs to.
Yeah, but don't tell her who.
Well, what if she asks me?
Just make out like you don't care.
Well, now, Lum, I don't want to get mixed up in this thing.
You ain't going to get mixed up in it. All you got to do is just tell her you know the owner of the horse and tell her what a fine man he is, upright and honest in all his dealings, and does right by his fellow man. And
Well, I thought the horse belonged to you.
It does. That's who I'm talking about.
Oh, you just want me to tell her all that so that it'll sort of throw her off the track to where she can't guess who it is, huh?
No, just tell her that and hurry up before she gets hold of another lawyer. Here, I'll ring it for you. Pretty short. Here, take the receiver.
Hello? Miss Phillips?
Wait a minute, she ain't there yet.
Oh.
Danny, this has learned me a lesson, all right. If all lawyers had the charges brung against themselves as they try to get their clients to bring against somebody else, it'd put a stop to a heap of this lawsuit, didn't it?
Yeah. She said hello, Lum.
Well, go ahead and talk to her.
Hello? Hello? She just keeps saying hello.
Well, ask her what she wants, or ask her if it's Miss Phillips.
Well, I know that's who it is. I know her
Well,
voice.
say something to her then before she hangs up the receiver. Go ahead and tell her about this man that owns the horse. What a fine man he is.
Hello, Miss Phillips? This here's Abner Peabody. Yes, Mom. Well, I just thought I'd call you up and tell you that I know that feller broke in your garden yesterday. Or, I know the feller that owned that horse that broke in there.
Oh, for goodness.
Yes, Mom. Well, he's an awful fine man.
Yeah.
Upright and honest and all that stuff. Mom? No, man ain't going to help your garden none, but he want me to call you up and tell you that.
Tell her I'm married and got a big family depending on me, and if she sues me, my poor little children will have to go hungry.
Yeah, Lum said to tell you he's married now and got a big family of children depending.
Don't tell her it's me. Tell her I'm, for goodness
Well,
sake.
who it is married, Lum?
Nobody. Wait a minute.
Huh?
For goodness sake.
Wait a minute, Lum has changed his mind about it. Says now he ain't married,
Oh,
Miss
for
Phillips.
goodness sake. Give me that receiver.
Well, I told her just what you told me.
Hello, Miss Phillips.
They don't believe me.
This is your attorney again. Mom? Well, I don't know what he's talking about neither. I think he's out of his head. He has spells, you know.
I don't either. I'm not bad at that.
Yes, Mom, might be the son. Well, I had a long talk with the man that horse belongs to, and I believe I've got him scared into settling this case out of court.
Going to that.
Well, he never said for sure, but I believe he's willing to pay for what the horse is. Well, I don't know. I never had no idea the horse done that much damage. I believe I can get him to pay you $10 cash, though, if you want to settle for that. Well, all right, fine. I'll mail you my check, or I'll send you over the money this afternoon then. All right, Miss Phillips. Not at all. Goodbye. How's that for using psychology?
You mean that you're going to give her $10 just for what little bag of vegetables that horse ate up?
Well, it ain't going to cost me nothing. I'm going to send her $10, all right, get her to sign a release, but I'm going to send her a bill for $10 for handling the case for her. Container's fees. I'll break even anyway. And from here out, somebody else can handle the law matters here in Pine Ridge. I'm through with it.
And another of Lum's air castles comes tumbling down. Howdy, everybody. Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. First, though, I'd like to pass along a tip to the many golfers who listen to Lum and Abner. Take along a flask of Horlicks malted milk tablets the next time you play. They're fine for relieving that healthy, hungry feeling that we all get golfing. As a matter of fact, they're the best things I know of for satisfying hunger without spoiling the appetite. What's more, they help freshen you up, give you extra energy, just as a glass full of Horlicks does. If you're planning a game this weekend, take along a flask of Horlicks tablets and try out this suggestion. You'll find many other uses for these tablets. Your dealer has them or will gladly order them for you in either natural or chocolate flavor, whichever you prefer. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Well, with Squire Skimp definitely eliminated as a competitor, and with their troubles in court finally settled, Lum and Abner can now devote all of their time to their picture show, the Pine Ridge Planetarium, and the Jot 'em Down store. Lum has abandoned his idea of taking up the practice of law, and has some new plans to increase the attendance at their picture show. As we look in on our old friends today, we find Dick Huddleston over at the Jot 'em Down store, just talking. Listen.
Well, Squire's a poor loser. Looks like after he took the case to court and lost it, why, he'd forget about it.
Yeah, he keeps telling out what all he's going to do to us.
Oh, well, just a lot of mouth talk, all it is. How could he get even with us? What could he do?
Well, now, he's liable to figure out some way along. Best thing to do is just not to have any dealings with him of any kind.
Yeah, I've been sort of looking for him to come over here and make us a proposition of some kind.
And I wouldn't even swap nickels with him. That's the unhonestest fella I ever know.
Well, you just leave him alone now. Just stay away from him. That's the best thing to do.
Caleb Wehunt was telling me this morning the Squire was in there yesterday over at the blacksmith shop, and some of the boys was joshing about us winning the trial off of him, and he said something about he'd make us wish we'd have lost the case.
Oh, sassy Fred. Sassy Fred.
I don't see how he's going to do that, though. I don't believe I could have wished we'd have lost it.
Well, the thing to do is just go on about your own business. Don't pay any attention to what all he's saying. You've got him out of the way now, and you ought to make some money out of that picture show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're doing uncommonly well with it now.
Oh, my goodness.
Had one of the biggest crowds last night we've had yet.
Well, that was a good picture you had there, too, Lum. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and then last night was bank night, too. That always fetches out a crowd.
Yeah. I was sure glad to see the widow Abernathy hold a winning picture.
Yeah.
If anybody needs it, she sure you've had all for hard all time.
Oh, my, all them youngins.
Yeah.
She was tickled from to death whenever I called out her number. Did you see it? Mine, I tore the seats down getting up there on the platform.
Well, all those things help draw a crowd, do, Lum.
Well, see, that feller that sells us them moving pictures was out here this morning. He was telling me about a new stunt they're working around over the country. Might be a good thing for us to try. Call it Screeno.
Screeno?
Yeah. You know this game they call bingo? They always playing at the county fair and picnics around where they set you a card and then call out a batch of numbers and you put a bean down on the card or a piece of kernel of corn. Sometimes they give you them things to work with. And every time they call our number, why, you put a bean or a piece of corn or whatever it is down on the number.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I played that. Yeah, I won a Cupid doll once at a fair.
A Cupid doll?
Yes, sir. Elizabeth got it sitting on the mantelpiece over at the place right now.
Well, you look good with carrying a Cupid doll around.
Well, I don't carry it around. I said Elizabeth had it sitting on the mantelpiece. I ain't seen it.
Well, now, this Screeno, he says, works the same way.
Give away Cupid dolls?
No, you give away cash prizes. See, everybody that comes in the show, you hand them a card with their ticket. And when you get ready for the drawing, we'll turn the lights on there in the theater and call out the numbers, and first one that yells out Screeno wins the prize.
Uh-huh. I don't believe that'll work so long.
Well, he says it helps business something wonderful in other places.
Well, if a person that hollers Screeno wins the prize, why, they'll all be hollering as quick as they get inside the show. Why, they'll catch on to that one.
Yeah, but they can't holler Screeno unless they got all the numbers on their card givers.
Oh, I believe they could with a little practice. Screeno. See, there, I can do it already. But I catch on to things pretty quick, boy.
They've got to wait till the numbers is called out, Abner.
Well, that sounds like a good idea to me, Lum. I never heard of using a game like that in a picture show before, though.
Oh, it's brand spanking new.
Well, now, personal, I think we ought to stay with the picture show business. Folks comes over there to see moving pictures, not to get no gambling games.
This ain't gambling. Don't cost them nothing. Just gives them a chance to see a show and win a prize, too.
Well, I'm again it anyway. I'm feared we're going to have trouble figuring out who hollers first. They'll all be hollering at the same time, I bet you.
Abner, you must have forgot how to play bingo. See, I'll get up there on a platform like I do on bank nights and call out the numbers. For instance, I'll call out number 23.
23.
And everybody will look on their card, and if they've got that number, why, they take a pencil and mark an X on it.
What you going to call out number 23 for?
Well, I might not call 23.
You said you would.
Well, I might call number 18 or number 12.
Well, how you expect them to know which number you're going to call if you don't even know yourself?
Well, I'll know before I call out the number.
Well, you'll probably have to draw the numbers out of a box like you do on bank night, won't you?
Yeah, that's it. Get some young'un to come up out of the audience.
Sure. Well, so now that ought to work all right. You know, there's lots of little stunts you can do like that that'll help your business.
Well, I still don't like that.
Well, the trouble with you, Abner, you're just too old-fashioned in your ideas. But it's got to keep up with the times, up to date.
Yeah, that's just the trouble this day and time, too. Everybody's busy trying out somebody else's ideas, trying to outdo one another.
I ain't trying to outdo nobody. I'm just trying to figure out some way to fill up them empty seats over there every night.
Well, Lum, if you're going to hand out a batch of cash prizes, it ain't going to do no good to fill up a seat. Take in money at the box office and then stand up there on the stage and hand it back to them. You ain't get no place that way.
Abner, this is something that's been tried out before. I know it'll work.
Well, now, Lum, when we went into this thing, we was going to run a picture show. Now we're going to start playing games. Want to make amusement parlors out of it.
Oh, my goodness.
Or to put in a shooting gallery and get a couple of cat racks along with it.
Well, now, I can prove it by Dick here that this idea brings a lot of...
Lum, now, don't get me mixed up into this now. You fellas just argue this out between yourselves. I better be getting on back over the store anyway. I've got a bunch of work to do.
No, sit down, Dick. Sit down. We ain't
No,
gonna
I've got to
argue.
go anyway, Lum. I ought to have been back long ago.
Well, come back again, Dick.
Yeah, I will. You fellas come down low with me when you get time.
All right, Dick.
So long.
Well, Abner, you made it plumb embarrassment for him, man, arguing that way.
Well, I don't care if I do. I'm getting tired of the way that picture show's being run. You can study up more ways to give money away off on that stage, and we can take into the box office to save our lives, Lum.
The trouble with you is you don't know nothing about the picture show business yourself, and you sit up and try to tell me how to run it.
Well, somebody's got to tell you how. I own a half interest in that thing now, Lum, and I ain't going to stand back and see you give the whole business away.
That's all I've heard ever since we've been in the show business. You're scared to death you're going to lose. I wish you'd out of it.
Yeah, I do, too.
I do, too.
I do, too.
Well, now, anytime you want out of it, you can get out. I'll buy your half of it in a minute.
Huh?
Well, I ain't got the money to buy it with, but I would if I had it. I'll swap you my interest in the Jot 'em Down store here first.
You mean that you'll give me your half interest in the store here for my half interest in the picture show?
Yes, sir. Swap even right now.
Well, now you're getting a skinning, Lum. I'll tell you that right now. You know what the store building here and all this ground worth more than that picture show, because we don't own a picture show building.
I don't care. It'll be worth it to get you out of there to where I can run things to suit myself for once.
All right. I don't get hit the deal. Just draw up the paper.
Well, now, there ain't no backing out. If we're going to trade, it's got to be a trade.
Well, that suits me just fine. Doggies, I'll take this store and show you how it ought to been run all along.
Now, don't be coming around to me now when you see me making a big success out of the planetarium wanting to swap back.
You keep giving stuff away over there, and you won't have nothing to swap back.
Well, now, I'll run the picture show. You have your hands full going broke over here. I'll just give you 30 days to stay open.
Well, now, just get them papers drawn out and get out of my store now. And recollect, you've got to pay cash for everything you get over here, too. I don't want to credit nobody that I know is going broke.
All right, if that's the way you feel about it, you don't get no pass to my show, neither.
Huh?
You'll pay just like anybody else.
Oh, no, I won't.
Oh, yes, you will.
No, I won't either. I just won't go to your show. Won't be worse than you know how.
Hand me that carbon paper. I'll fix up them papers right now.
Here.
I'll show you. You don't know when you're well off. When me and you went in partners, what'd you have?
Nothing.
Now look at you. What have you got now?
Nothing.
See there? Been partners together for over 20 years and you ain't lost nothing. Been breaking even anyway. That's better than lots of these big companies can say.
Now, you ain't going to talk me out of this trade, Lum. I can tell you that right now. You just go ahead and make up them papers right now. I want to get my name signed to it and get you out of here.
I'm making them out if you'll hush bothering.
Well, make them out.
To who it may concern.
Now, Doggies, I might try that screen business out here at the store. I believe that's help business.
Then is this order to fix it up?
Get folks in here, and I can give them a ticket with a pen or something that they buy, and I can give away pies.
Shut up, Abner. I can't write.
Well, go ahead and make out the papers. I ain't bothering you. I'm just figuring out some ideas.
How's this sounding now? This is to certify that Lum Edwards, party of the first part, does hereby...
Now, don't get too many of them parties in there to where I can't understand what you got down there. Write it in little bitty words.
Will you shut up and listen to this?
Oh.
This is to certify that Lum Edwards, party of the first part, does hereby transfer his half interest in the Jot 'em Down store to Abner Peabody, party of the second part.
I'm the second part.
All is the second part.
Huh?
And Abner Peabody turns over to Lum Edwards his half interest in the planetarium.
Oh, now, wait. No, that's right. That's right.
That ought to fix it up. See, I put this on there, too. From now on, Edwards will be sole owner of the planetarium, and Peabody will own all of the Jot 'em Down store.
That means that you own the paper store and I own the store here.
Sign. There's my name right there. Just sign yours right underneath there, and the deal's closed.
Well, it looks like the partnership of Edwards and Peabody has come to an end.
Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Travelers by land, sea, or air should know of the great advantages of using Horlicks, either in powder or tablet form. Nothing is more convenient to carry on trips than Horlicks. When no other food will do in cases of seasickness or air sickness, Horlicks can be taken because of its remarkable digestibility. In cases of prolonged illness, it often saves lives. In this connection, may we read a letter recently received from Mrs. E.F.D. of Cincinnati, Ohio. This past winter, Mother and I spent 8 weeks touring Florida, and we always had a bottle of Horlicks malted milk tablets in the pocket of the car. Mother would take several every time she felt a bit hungry. They surely helped her, for many times we were not close to a town for luncheon, just at luncheon time. When I tell you that my mother will be 75 next fall and never tired on our 4,500-mile trip, you will see that Horlicks helped. End of quote. You, too, can readily enjoy Horlicks as a food drink while on your trips. It is so convenient to prepare. It already contains full cream milk and only requires that you mix it with water. A light lunch can be prepared in a minute, anywhere, at any time of the day or night. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Well, the old partnership of Edwards and Peabody, long a familiar firm in Pine Ridge, is no more. Following a heated argument yesterday, the old fellows dissolved partnership. Lum taking over the sole ownership and management of their picture show, the Pine Ridge Planetarium, and Abner assuming full control of the Jot-'em-Down store. The old fellows are convinced that each will be better off without the interference of the other. As we look in on Pine Ridge today, we find the new proprietor of the Jot-'em-Down store talking with Cedric, who seems to have been thrown in with the trade. Listen.
I believe that's our ring, Mr. Abner.
Yeah, I'll get it, Cedric. I'll get it. Hello? Peabody's Jot-'em-Down store. Mom? Why, I don't know what the picture is for tonight. You'll have to call Mr. Edwards over at the picture show. I ain't connected with that outfit now. No, Mom. I'm running the Jot-'em-Down store here now. Yes, Anytime you need anything in the way of groceries, well, I'll be glad to have the business. All right, Miss Kelly. Not at all. Goodbye. Now, wish they'd quit calling over here about that picture show.
You ought to make an announcement over the party line and tell everybody that you and Mr. Lum ain't partners no more.
I Doggy, that's a good idea, Cedric. I believe I'll do that right now. That'll put a stop to them calling down here and ask me about the picture show. I'll just ring a fire alarm ring like Lum does whenever he makes an announcement over the party line.
Yes, man, always gets them the phone all right.
And I'll just give them some special prices on groceries, too, while I'm at it. I'm going to show folks around here how a grocery store ought to be run. Special Lum. Hello? This is the Jot-'em-Down store. Abner Peabody's owner and manager and president and everything else talking. I just want to make an announcement and tell everybody that Lum Edwards is disconnected with his store now, and I ain't responsible for none of his debts from here out. He's running a picture show, and I'm running a store here. So from now on, when you want to know something about the picture show, don't call down here and ask me.
Call Mr. Lum.
And I've got some special prices on might nigh everything. Extra special price on bananas. They've been here so long, I've got to get shut of them before they spoil. Well, I'll be calling you up just like now every day, give me some special this way. Listen for the fire alarm ring. That's a sign of some red-hot prices. I thank you. Don't get that ought to get them. How'd it sound, Cedric?
Oh, all right, I reckon.
Did I sound as good as Lum does when he makes announcements?
Yes, I believe you did, but don't tell him I said so, for I'm working for him over there at the picture show of the nights, you know.
Well, I figured I could make just about as good a speech over that telephone as he could, but he never would let me do it. Alders had to do the talking himself.
Yes, I believe you're going to make a success with the store here, Mr. Abner, where you start now.
Oh, yeah. I don't need no help from Lum. Yes, sir. You stay with me, Cedric, and I'll make a big mercantile out of you.
Make a what out of me?
Big mercantile out of you.
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir. We're going to make some changes around here, too. Put in some new rules.
Yeah.
Now, when a customer comes in, Cedric, I want you to always get up on your feet when you ask him what they want.
Oh.
Don't just sit there with your feet propped up on a counter like Lum does. And always take your hat off, too, when you go to wait on somebody. And thank them when you get done. And get the store opened up early. When I come down here every morning, I want to find you sweeping out.
Yes, sir.
Maybe I better practice you a little bit, Cedric, for there's going to be times when I'll have to leave you here in the store by yourself. Now, I'll make out like I'm a customer coming in the store here, and you show me just how you'd wait on me. Then I'll give you some pointers.
Yes, sir. Well, where are you going?
I'm just going to walk up towards the front of the store here to make out like I'm a customer coming in.
Well, you're going out, though.
Well, I'm going to turn around right here. Here I come now.
Yes, I see you.
Morning, Cedric.
Morning. But I done spoke to you this morning once.
Yeah, but you ain't saw me yet today, Cedric.
Ain't saw you. We've been sitting here talking for over hours.
I know, Cedric, but I'm a customer. I'm just now coming in the store. Now, let's start over again. Morning, Cedric.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Well, all right, I reckon. I haven't thought much about it.
Why ain't you going to ask me how I am?
Well, I just supposed you was all right, or you'd said something about it before now.
I ain't me, Cedric. I'm a customer. You want to always ask the customers how they're feeling and all that stuff.
Oh, well, how are you feeling?
Just fine, thank you. Well, ain't you forgetting something?
Huh? Oh, yes, I forgot. You said you wanted to find me sweeping out when you come down in the morning. I'll have to get the broom out of the...
Well, come back here, Cedric. I'm a customer. I want to buy something. Ain't you going to ask me if I need something?
No, Mom. I know you don't need nothing. I taken back your stuff over to your place late yesterday evening. Miss Peabody called up for it.
Oh,
I reckon
for
you never
goodness,
know.
Cedric, forget that I'm Abner Peabody. I'm a customer, I told you. Make out like I'm the widow Abernathy.
Oh, you couldn't make nobody believe you was her, Mr. Abner. Her and y'all don't look a thing alike.
Well, that don't make no difference about that. It don't make no difference who I'm supposed to be. Ezra Seastrunk or Grandpappy Spears or Mose Moose, anybody.
You mean you want me to guess who you are, huh?
No, just say I'm Luke Spears.
Oh, you're Luke Spears.
No, I mean, just make out like I'm him. See, I come in and you think that I'm Luke Spears.
Oh, well, I'd know better than that. Luke ain't even in town. He's over in Oklahoma now.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Here, you be the customer and I'll wait on you, Cedric, and show you how it ought to be done.
I'm going to get to be it now.
Yeah, you step up there in the front and make out like you're some customers coming in to buy something.
Oh, I believe I'm catching on now.
Oh, it run me crazy.
This is fun, ain't it?
Well, now, come in now. Come on in. Good morning. What can I do for you?
You'll never guess who I am now.
Well, pay attention to me. I said, what can I do for you?
Huh?
I said, what can I do for you?
Oh, what'd you say?
Well, for goodness sakes, what's the matter with you? Can't you hear nothing?
No, Mom, not very good. You see, I'm making out like I'm old Uncle Henry Lunsford, and you know how hard of hearing he is.
Oh,
You might not be.
For goodness sake.
That don't count, though. I had to tell you that. I'll try it again.
Well, come on back here. Now, what can I do for you?
You forgot to say good morning.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. Only I'm an afternoon customer this time. Let's play like it's late evening, nearly quitting time.
We ain't playing, Cedric. This is serious. I'm trying to learn you something. Now, what is it for you?
Oh, I don't know. I'd like to look at some nice fresh calico or gingham.
All right, fine. You step this way.
Well, I don't know where I can walk that way or not, but I'll try.
Now, here's something that'll make a nice little dress. You can make a sunbonnet off of it, too, to match.
Oh.
Look awful nice. And there's enough goods in that bowl to make dresses for the children and shirts for the men folks, too. I've already said there ain't nothing prettier than to see a whole family docked out to match one another that way. See, that sail ship, Cedric.
Well, let me look at that boat over there on the first side, that sort of yellow one there.
All right. That's awful pretty, too. There you are.
Yes, Mom. Now, let me see that up there on the top shelf, that green polka dot.
Well, wouldn't this in here do, Cedric? Ain't no use for me to climb clean up there. I can show you just as well with one of these down here.
No, if I can't see that, then I'll just go on down to Dick Huddleston's store, I guess.
Well, what are you trying to do, Cedric? Wear me out? You put me in mind of Sister Simpson.
Well, I do know. You guessed it the first time. That's just who I was.
Oh. Just let it go. I'll wait on the customers myself. Here. Now, you put this bolt goods right back up in the shelves yourself.
Well, I'm a customer. I ain't supposed to have to put the stuff back in the shelves after a look.
Well, we're through making out like you're a customer. You better be making out like you're working here before I get somebody else to take your place. I about give up hopes ever making a clerk out of you.
Yonder comes Mr. Dick out there in front.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Well, now, get that stuff all cleaned up there now, Cedric.
I'm the clerk now, huh?
Yeah, I reckon so. Howdy, Dick. Come in.
Good morning, Mr. Huddleston.
Good morning.
What can I do for you?
What'd you say, Cedric?
I say, what can I do for you?
Oh, not a thing, Cedric. Why?
Are you Squire Skimp?
No, not guilty.
Don't pay no attention to him.
Ashley Seastrunk?
Now, Cedric, just hush up now. I've been trying to learn him how to wait on the customers here, but I'll give it up.
Grandpappy Spears.
Abner, I heard your announcement on the quarter line a while ago. I picked up a receiver to see where the fire was, and I understood you to say that you was on the store here by yourself now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Lum ain't got a thing to do with this place now. Him and me has unresolved partnership. I swapped him my interest in the picture show for his interest in the store here.
Well, for goodness sake, when did that happen?
Oh, him and me got in a sort of argument here yesterday. First thing I know, why, he had the show and I had the store.
You mean you traded even?
Yeah, I reckon so. There wasn't no boot deal. Just signed some papers and that's all there was to it.
Well, he give you a good skinning on that deal, Abner.
He did.
Why, sure, that picture show's a regular mint. He'll make more money over there in 6 months than you will over here in 2 years.
Well, it's too late now, I reckon. We've done swap.
Well, it's not too late either.
I bet you he knowed he's getting the best of it all the way through. Come to think about it, he was the one that suggested himself. Well, that blame his ornery hide.
Well, you can't blame Lum about it, Abner. He didn't make you trade, did he?
No, but I thought I was getting the best of him. Dad blamed him anyway. I'm going over that picture show right this minute. I'll make him trade back with me or beat the everlasting daylight out of him.
Well, here, wait a minute, Abner. Hold on there.
I ain't going to do it. I know that I'll learn him how to try to beat me out of my rights, that picture show.
There seems to be some dissatisfaction already over the division of properties. Something serious may develop out of this yet.
Howdy, everybody. Here we are all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Mothers who are not able to nurse their babies will find that Horlicks malted milk is unsurpassed as a food for bottle-fed infants. An excellent source of calcium, phosphorus, and vitamins, Horlicks will aid in the development of sturdy, healthy bodies, sound bones, and teeth. Also, Horlicks is extremely easy to digest. That's because it's made from only full cream milk modified with the soluble extract of the choicest malted grains. As a result of this, Horlicks can be more easily, more safely handled by the tiny stomach than can ordinary cow's milk. Because it is so nourishing, so energy-giving, Horlicks is also helpful for the nursing mother. It nourishes the mother and enriches and increases her milk. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. When we left Abner yesterday, he was just beginning to realize that he had gotten the worst end of the bargain when he traded Lum his half interest in the picture show for full ownership of the Jot 'em Down store. He tore out of the store in a rage to find Lum and demand that the deal be retracted. As we look in on our old friends today, we find Grandpappy Spears over at the Jot 'em Down store discussing yesterday's conflict. Listen.
It was your own fault, Abner. You had no business trying to pick a fight with Lum in the first place.
No, I reckon not.
If you'd have trying to make him trade back, if you'd have come over there and acted nice about it, he might have did it.
Well, I just got to thinking what a skinning he give me on a deal, and it just made me so mad I couldn't hardly stand myself. I never want to whip a man so blame bad in my life.
Well, why didn't you do it? He gave you plenty of chances there.
Yeah, I know it. You know, he's a heap bigger man than I thought he was, Grandpa. I believe old Lum's growing here late, sort of filling out.
Yeah. Wonder he never fought you one there when you just come right out flat-footed and accused him of stealing from you.
Yeah, I oughtn't to have said that, I reckon. That's when he run me out of there.
And I don't blame him. I'd have did the same thing if he was me.
Oh, no, you wouldn't either. You will never see the day that you can run me out of anything, Grandpappy.
Don't go too far with your talk, Abner. I might not let you off as easy as Lum did.
Yeah, I just wished it was you that I had to deal with instead of Lum. I'd get my half interest of that picture show back, or I'd get you down and pull them chin whiskers of yours out one at a time.
I just wish I could study up something to make you mad enough to try that just once. Just one time.
All right. If that's the way you feel about it, just get out of my store. Get up and get out of here. Can't nobody insult me in my own soul.
Oh, that's it. I'll get out.
Well, get out. Don't you stick that ugly face of yours in here again. I don't want your business.
All right, sir. I'll come over here after a big bill of groceries, but I'll just go down to Dick Huddle's store.
Well, wait a minute now, Grandpap. Now, come on back now. I never meant it. Take it all back. Can't you tell when I'm joshing? Well, I'm just having a little fun out of it.
Well, I do know. I thought you were serious, Abner. You sure had me fooled there.
Well, I ought to have been an actor, I reckon. Just full of buffoonery.
I ought to have been on.
And you thought I was showing off man.
Well, I did there for a minute.
What was it you was needing? I say, what all you got on that list of stuff you was needing?
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. See, I was just joshing too, Abner. I never wanted to buy nothing. Ain't a thing we're needing.
Well, what did you say if you had a big list of stuff and if you come down after?
Oh, well, I just said that I had something to say, I reckon.
Well, you dead blame you. Get out of this store. No, never mind. Sit down, Grandpap, sit down. I've got enough trouble without picking no fuss with you.
Quit telling me to get out of here, then, if you don't want me in here. Say that again, I will get up and get out.
No, just sit down now. Calm yourself down. I've got enough worries pouring with Lum and Squire Skimp the whole meeting.
Squire Skimp? He ain't a bothering you now, is he?
Well, he's still making threats. Mose Moocher tell me some more stuff this morning he said he's going to do to get even with us.
Oh, well, he's just mad at the picture show, though, Abner. You ain't in that no more.
Huh? I don't get that right, ain't I? Well, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, Lum runs the picture show by herself.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to fight that out with him by himself now, won't I? I wish they would get in a fight. Squire and Lum. Wish they'd both give one another a licking. I could get even with both of them that way.
And if Lum ever gets mad enough, he'll just give Squire one of the worst lickings he ever had in his life, I'll tell you that. He was mad enough at you yesterday to quit most anything.
Well, he was mad, wasn't he? I never seen the life of it. I don't want to see him for a few days till he gets cooled off a little, either.
Oh, well, Lum ain't much of a hand to hold a grudge that way. I bound you done forgot about it by this time.
No, he ain't neither, Grandpa. Why, he wouldn't even let me in his picture show last night.
He wouldn't?
No, sir. I come down there with Elizabeth and Pearl, and he passed them in for nothing. And wouldn't even sell me a ticket.
Well, I do know.
And wouldn't even let me stand in the door and watch it. I had to wait out there in front in the road till it was over to take Elizabeth and Pearl home.
Well, you sure missed a good picture, Abner. That's Terry's hand. He's the outdoingest thing I ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Well, Elizabeth told me something about it.
Yeah, get to swinging in them trees, hanging on them grapevines, swing from one tree to another, beat anything I ever seen.
Yeah, that's what Elizabeth said. Said he's outdoingest thing she ever seen.
Yeah, I wish Lum had let you in there, for he killed a lion with his bare hands,
Who? Lum did?
No, this fella in the picture, this Tarzan.
Oh, well, I was wondering when he took it. Oh, my goodness alive. Let me get out of here, Grandpap.
What's the matter?
Look, coming yonder. There's Lum now. Grandpap, I'm going to get over here behind the counter and hide till he gets out of here. Now, don't you tell him where I'm at.
Oh, for goodness sake, come out of there, Abner. He ain't going to hurt you.
Be quiet.
Oh, yeah. Gentlemen, morning, Grandpap. What about his Abner? Well, I don't know where he's at now, Lum. He was here a while ago. Well, I reckon I can see him some other time. I sort of want to see him and apologize for the way I treated him last night. Apologize? Yeah, I said some things yesterday I never had no business saying. Got to studying about it today, and my conscience got to bother me about it. Thought I'd just come over and tell him that I never meant what I said. Well, for goodness sake. Well, howdy, Abner. There's Abner now, Grandpap. What you doing down there behind the counter?
Just got my mouth back. Yeah, that's what it is. My mouth back.
Well, come over here. I want to talk to you, Abner.
You ain't going to try to start another fight with me,
Oh, no. No, I want to apologize to you about yesterday. Refusing to let you see that show.
Oh, well, now, that's all right. I never wanted to see it no how. I don't like that Tarzan.
Just thought I'd tell you I'm holding that picture over for tonight, too, the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're welcome to come down there and see it for nothing, free.
Well, go.
Glad
Much
to have you.
obliged to you. Yes, sir. I sure be. Can Elizabeth and Paul get in free again tonight?
Yeah, I'll bring them on over. If they want to see it again, be all right.
Well, fine. We'll just all three of us be back down there then.
I'm sorrowful about some of the things I said when you come over there wanting to trade bags.
Oh, well, now, that was all my fault, Lum.
No, it weren't, Miss Abner. I was just as much to blame as you were.
No, you weren't. No such a thing now. I know whose fault it was.
Well, I do, too. That's the reason I come over here to apologize. Now, don't stand there and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, now, if you come over here to my store to start another argument with me, you can just get right out of here.
If you step out here in front, I will start an argument with you, sure enough.
All right, sir. Don't never get it in your head that I'm scared of you.
Here, you fellas, come on back here now, both of you. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
Huh?
I'll take it back, Abner.
I do too, Lum.
It just makes me mad, though, coming over here to apologize, and you claim it's your fault about you.
Yeah. Well, all right, then. It was your fault, Lum, the whole business.
No, that's better. Wait a minute. What'd you say?
Well, I said it was your fault.
Why, you was the one that started it yourself. Come over there threatening to give me a licking because I wouldn't trade back with you.
Well, you said some things that you oughtn't to have said, too.
Yeah, but I never said half as much as I wish I had said.
Well, now, wait a minute now, Lum. Now, it ain't no use for us to argue this way.
No, then,
Not a bit in the world.
I don't know what's the matter with us. What's eating
Me
on us?
neither.
Both ought to be changed.
My sure we had.
Here we've been partners for all these years, been in all sorts of businesses together, and now all of a sudden we start quarreling amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Ain't no reason why we can't get along now as well as we ever did.
You mean that you want to go back in partners again and let me back in the picture show with you?
Well, no, I don't think we ought to do that, Abner.
Well, now, you know good and well that you got the best end of the deal, Lum.
Well, I never done no such a thing. You was complaining about the way I was running the picture show, and I give you a chance to get out of it, and you did. You agreed to swap your half interest in the show for my half interest in the store here. It's a fair and square deal.
Yeah, but now I wish I hadn't have done it.
Now, you've got your own business here now, and gives you a chance to run things your own way. I've got a bunch of ideas I want to try out in the picture show, and I know if you come back in there with me, you'd be against them, so we better just let well enough alone.
You know you got the best out of me. Naturally, you'd keep it if you could. I might have known what to expect out of you. More than likely, you've been planning on that ever since we went into it.
Well, Abner, I come back over here to make friends with you. You want to feel that way about it, well, I'll just go right ahead. I don't care. But I'll tell you right now, I won't trade back. You may as well just learn when you make a business deal, you've got to stick with it.
All right, if that's the way you feel about it, just get out of this store. I don't never want to have another thing to do with
That
it.
just suits me fine. I'll get out, but don't you never try to get in that picture show of mine either. I'll rock you home every time you show up.
Sassy flash. Sassy flash.
Abner, ain't that the fire alarm ring there? That's the fire alarm ring. Take down the receiver.
I know that I believe it is. So in the world. Wait a minute. Hello? Where's the fire? Huh? Oh, my goodness. Hey, Lum. Grandpa, stop Lum there. Stop Lum there, Grandpa.
What's the matter, Abner?
Hey, Lum, wait a minute. Your picture show's burning down. I just hit it on the party line. They say the whole thing's on fire.
Maybe Abner didn't make such a bad trade after all.
Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Before we go down to Pine Ridge, I have a special message for those of you who do the family shopping. Don't be misled by imitations, which are offered you as a substitute for Horlicks malted milk at low prices. Such imitations are often extremely inferior products. Insist upon getting Horlicks, the original and genuine malted milk. In Horlicks, the rich, full cream milk, the fine wheat and malted barley are combined by the special Horlick process, which conserves the valuable food elements, the minerals and vitamins, and which brings out the full flavor and aroma. By accepting a substitute, you can't get the real value of Horlicks. You may get just a mechanical mixture of merely skim milk powder, inferior malt, and ordinary sugar. So tell your druggist you want Horlicks, the malted milk that gives results. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Just as we left our friends in Pine Ridge Friday, the alarm was flashed over the party line that Lum's picture show, the Pine Ridge Planetarium, was on fire. Abner had just been trying to persuade Lum to take him back in as a partner in the show business, but Lum refused. So now Abner will not have to share the loss, if any. As we look in on the Jot-'em-Down store today, we find Grandpappy Spears over talking to Abner. There seems to be some mystery as to how the fire started. Listen.
Well, if you want my notions on it, Abner, somebody set fire to it.
Oh, there ain't no doubt about that. It burned up too fast for it to be a natural fire. And I've got a pretty good idea who done it, too.
Well, I ain't calling no names, Abner, but I do believe I could lay my finger on the right man. Wouldn't have to go very far to do it, neither.
Huh? Wait a minute here. You ain't accusing me of setting fire to it, have you?
No, Abner. No, the feller I've got in mind's been threatening to get even with you fellers ever since you beat him in that lawsuit.
Who?
Never mind. I've got my own ideas about it, though.
You mean somebody that you can put your finger on and you sitting right there in that chair?
No, I couldn't sit in here. No, it's just sort of an expression I was using, putting your fingers on a guilty man.
Well, putting your finger on him ain't going to do no good. You better put some handcuffs on him.
Yeah, it ain't my place to find out who done it. You're the constable here in Pine Ridge.
Well, now, if you know who done that, Grandpap, you've got to tell me who it was. That's your duty as a citizen of Pine Ridge.
Well, if you weren't so blind, if you could see 2 feet in front of your nose, you'd know who it was without somebody telling you.
2 feet? Wait a minute here.
Hey, what's the matter with you? What you fixing to do there? Don't point that gun at me, Abner. Put that thing up.
Grandpappy Spears, I arrest you in the name of the law for setting fire to the Pine Ridge Planetarium.
Abner, if you don't put that gun down, I'm going to whop you across the head with this chair.
Oh, resisting officer, huh? And I'll put that in the sergeant, too.
You mean to stand there and say I set that thing on fire and me working for Lum?
I know that blame well you did. You just now said so yourself.
I never done no such a thing.
Well, you never noticed, but you let it slip. Just same as I admitted to it. Yeah, that's the reason I called you over here. I thought I'd get a confession out of you. I've been watching you ever since last Friday, Grandpa.
Come on, Abner. You've got less sense than any one man I ever seen in my life.
Come on, get up from there. Don't argue with me. I'll slap you in that jail before you set something else afire around here.
Now, take your blame petty larceny hands off me, Abner Peabody, before I get up from here and beat some sense in your head.
What's the matter? What's going on in here?
Yeah. Howdy, Richard. How'd you come in?
I've got him, Dick. I've got the fella done it.
Got the fella done what? What are you talking about?
Oh, this idiot here accused me of setting Lum's picture show on fire.
For goodness. Where'd you ever get an idea like that, Abner?
That's what I want to know.
He admitted to it. I give him a 3rd degree. Got to cross-examine him, and he made a confession before he knows it.
I never done no such a thing.
Well, now, wait a minute now. Just calm yourself down, little. There must be a misunderstanding here of some kind.
Well, I understood him. I know what he said. He said the feller set fire to that building weren't 2 feet from the end of his nose. And it's bound to be him.
I said if you could see 2 feet in front of your nose, you'd know who done it. Anybody with just half sense could figure that out.
Well, Dick, if he never done it, he knows who did and won't tell.
I don't know such a thing. That blame, you just been trying to get me on something ever since I've known you.
Well, you ought to be got on something. You sit around here and try to protect fellers that set buildings on fire. That's what you try to do, and that's against the law. Your accomplishments to the crime. That's what you are when you do it.
I ain't no such a thing. I said a while ago that I thought I knowed who done it. I ain't going to come right out flat-footed and accuse somebody unless I know for sure it was him. If it ever got back to Squire, he'd sue me for slander, just sure as the world.
Well, I think nearly everybody here in town, Grandpap's suspicions the same fellow. But, of course, there's no way to prove it.
No. And if we had any kind of a constable around here at all, he'd find out who done it.
Why, we've got one. I'm the constable here, Grandpap.
Yeah, I know it.
Well, I know there's not much that Abner can do, though, Grandpap, till there's some evidence found.
Yeah, I don't believe he's even trying, Dick. See, him and Lum had a falling out, and things it don't look like he's just glad it happened.
Why, ain't no such a thing. I feel sorrowful for him. Hate it the worst way. Only thing I'm glad of is that he never swapped back with me when I tried to get him to the other day. You know, Dick, Lum was over here at the store Friday when the fire broke out, and I just got done begging him to swapping back his half interest, in the picture show back for a half interest in the store here, and he wouldn't do it.
Well, I don't think Lum will lose anything, though, Abner.
Why, he'll lose the whole business. Get burnt clean to the ground. I'm so glad he wouldn't trade back. I don't know what to do with myself, Hardy.
Well, he's well protected with insurance. I imagine he had it covered for all it was worth.
Oh, did he have insurance on the show, Richard?
Well, I haven't seen him to talk with him, but I imagine he did. You know, he went by the insurance company to take out insurance on it the morning of the trial with Squire Skimp.
Yeah.
That's how he found out that Squire had taken out a life insurance policy, since he claimed to have been hurt when he fell over there in the picture show.
Yeah, that's right, he did. Well, good. Good for Lum. I'm proud to hear it.
I'd forgot about that. Well, will he collect some cash money from the insurance company now?
Why, yes, I suppose so, Abner.
How much?
Well, it all depends on how much insurance he took out. I imagine he'll get all his worth.
You mean he'll get all that money all for himself?
Yeah, and you won't get none of it, Smarty. It's good enough for you. Lum will be running around here with more money than he knows what to do with, and you'll still be working down here at this little old store trying to make a living.
Now, just hush up, Grandpap. Just hush that right up. Ain't a thing funny about it. So that's the reason he wouldn't trade back with me. I bound you he knowed that was going to happen. Just wanted all that money for himself. Selfish outfit. He might have set it on fire himself. I don't know.
Why, Abner, you ought to be ashamed of yourself talking that way about Lum. You know good and well that he didn't do it.
Well, I don't know, Dick. There's been a terrible, strange change come over Lum here lately.
Well, Lum never had no chance to set it on fire, Abner, if he'd have been a mind to do it. He was sitting right here in the store talking to me and you whenever the fire broke out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's more likely the only reason he never done it, though, because we was sitting here watching.
Well, now, Lum's not going to make anything on the fire, Abner. All he'll get back will be the amount of money he had invested over there.
Yes.
Why, sure. You see, the trustees of the old Cotton Warehouse Association own the building. We had a little insurance on it. I guess most of them would be glad to get their money out of it.
Yeah. Lum will just get paid for the seats and the picture machine and stuff like that on the inside of the building. Huh?
Yeah, sure. That's all he'll collect for.
Well, Dad blames him anyway. Now, you just watch him. I bound you he'll be coming over here putting on a batch of airs. I'm just a good mind not to let him come in here at all. He'll be trying to show off how rich he is.
Yeah, I reckon Lum will retire himself now. Just take life easy from here out.
That's blame my luck anyway. It makes me so mad I don't know what to do with myself.
Well, you ain't begrudging Lum getting all the money, are you, Abner?
Well, no, but it just makes me mad that they had to wait till I got out there before they had to fire.
Well, it's too bad that it had to happen at all, but as long as it did, I'm glad that Lum had that insurance.
Oh, yeah, sure. I wouldn't want to see him lose nothing either.
Well, I'll swan to goodness. Look coming yonder.
Oh, for goodness. Now, what? Just coming over here to flash a bunch of money in my face and show out.
Oh, I don't think Lum will feel that way about it, Abner. More likely just dropping by the loaf for a while.
Why, sure.
Well, I run him out of here the other day. Well, I never exactly run him out, but I told him I didn't want him hanging around here no more.
Well, what's the matter with you and Lum anyway? Just because you're not partners anymore is no reason for you to be quarreling all the time as well.
Well, howdy, Lum.
Hello, Lum.
Gentlemen,
How do you do, Mr. Peabody?
How do you do, sir? What is it for you?
Huh?
I say, what do you want? To buy something?
No, I reckon not. I just...
Hey, any new ideas about how your picture show caught on fire, Lum?
No, nothing definite, Dick. Got some suspicions, of course, but it's hard to tell about them things.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Pull out your pocketbook. Show us how much money you got.
Do what?
I say, go ahead, flash that roll of bills and show. Try to make us jealous.
What are you talking about?
Well, now, we know what you come over here for. Just to show. Brag about how much money you got from the insurance company.
Have you heard from the insurance company yet, Lum?
Yeah, I was just looking for you, Dick. I wanted to show you a letter I got from them this morning.
A letter?
Yeah, see, I called them directly after the fire Friday and told them about the fire.
Yeah.
Here's what they say.
Well, what's the matter, Lum? They're not refusing to pay it, are they?
Well, read it and see what you make out of it.
Dear Mr. Edwards, with reference to your telephone message advising us that your theater was destroyed by fire Friday night, we regret to inform you that although we have issued policies covering loss by windstorm and flood, public liability and property damage, our records fail to disclose that you purchased any protection against loss by fire through our agent. You mean that you didn't have any fire insurance, Lum?
Yeah, I reckon not. I'm going in there tomorrow and see them fellas. Surely must be a mistake there somewhere. If they ain't a mistake, I'm ruined, Dick. I know that.
And this is one time Lum won't have the Jot 'em Down store to fall back on. Howdy, everybody. Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Did you know that a glass full of Horlicks makes a most refreshing summer drink? More and more people are asking for Horlicks malted milk at soda fountains. And many more are making Horlicks at home to serve to their friends and families. Here's cooling refreshment at its very best. And how easy to make. The full cream milk is in Horlicks, and you need add only water to make a nourishing food drink, making it both economical and easy to prepare. All you have to do is to mix a sufficient quantity of powder thoroughly with water or milk, using any type of mixer or an ordinary egg beater. Get a package of Horlicks from your druggist in either natural or chocolate flavor, and mix some up. It's a good idea to keep a pitcher full in the refrigerator, ready for all occasions. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Well, things are looking rather bad for Lum just now. You know, his picture show, the Pine Ridge Planetarium, was destroyed by fire last Friday. And although the old fellow thought he was fully protected by fire insurance, he received a letter yesterday from the insurance company informing him he was protected against public liability, property damage, and windstorm, but not fire. As we look in on Pine Ridge today, we find Abner alone in the Jot 'em Down store, about to make an announcement over the party line. Listen.
Hello? This is Abner Peabody, Jot 'em Down store talking. It's Abner talking. Got some special announcements to make on pricing. I'm having a fall clearance sale here, starting early to get ahead of everybody else. Specials for this week only, number 2 wash tub. Regular 50-cent sellers for 48 cents. But now if you want one, you better get here early, for I've just got 3 of them. And one of them ain't for sale, for I don't want to be clean out or nothing. Extra special for this week, a lady's hat with an ostrich feather on it. $1. That's the one that's been sitting there on the front counter for so long.
Well, howdy. Oh, excuse me, I never seen you talking.
Well, howdy, Lum. Sit down, I'll be through here in just a minute.
Yeah, sure, go right ahead.
I'm just making an announcement over the party line here. Hello? That was Lum just come in. Don't forget about the sale. I'm going to run it all week. Everything you see here in the store with a yellow tag on it is on sale. Been marked down in price. I reckon that's all for today. Be sure and listen on the party line for Peabody Special.
Well, did I hear you say you're putting on a sale?
Yeah, just happened to think about it and decided to start one.
You're going to need some extra help around here. Sort of marking all this stuff down and putting yellow tags on everything, ain't you?
Oh, well, I ain't going to put no yellow tags on everything.
Oh, I thought I heard you say on the phone just now that you was.
Yeah, I know, but I ain't going to all that bother. Nobody ain't going to buy nothing this time of year, no way. They're all too busy in the field doing the trading.
Well, what you putting on a sale for then?
Oh, I don't know. Just something to do. It'll make some of Dick Huddleston's customers stop and wonder anyway.
Someone was telling me that Cedric ain't with you no more. Said he quit.
Well, he never quit. I fired him. But they're passing me back in here.
Well, you'll be sort of short-handed around here, won't you?
Yeah, I will, I just might not wish I hadn't fired him now.
Well, you want to be careful. You're getting up in years, you know. I wouldn't try to overdo myself.
No, I'll watch it, yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do now.
Have you found out anything about your insurance?
Yeah, I just got back a while ago from the county seat.
Yeah.
Don't look like I'm going to get a cent, though. They claim in there that I never had no fire insurance.
Well, I do know. Well, I thought that's what you went in there for, to buy every kind of insurance they had. That's what you said you were going to do.
Yeah, well, it was my own fault. I ain't got nobody to blame but myself. See, the day I went in there was the day Squire Skimp was suing us in court.
Yeah, I know. I recollect you was late for the trial even.
Well, I know now how come it overlooked getting the fire insurance. Yeah, I was naming over what all kinds we wanted when he stopped to tell me about Squire buying a life insurance policy from him, and whenever he told me that, I know that was evidence it would win the trial first.
Sure.
I jumped up and run out of there so as to get over to the courthouse before the trial was over, and I must have got so excited I forgot all about the fire insurance.
Well, now, that is a shame, that is.
He said he called out here several times trying to locate me to ask me about it, but never could get hold of me.
Was his name Ralph Hamilton?
Yeah, that's the feller.
Well, now, he called out here all right. He called just a day or two before the fire, wanted to talk to you, and I told him that you weren't connected with the store here no more.
Well, he was telling me the truth then today. I wish he'd went ahead and took out a policy from me.
Yeah. Well, I hate it the worst way, Lum. I just hate to stand off and see you lose everything you got that way.
Oh, it's clean out, Abner. I had a little money in the bank, but I had to pay for them chairs I had rented, and pay for the films I had last week, and pay off Grandpap and Cedric.
Yeah.
I've got $1.43 left.
Well, I do know for the long sake.
Right, that's all they are to it, just right now. I've got to find work somewhere.
Yeah. That's going to be pretty hard to do, too, I bound you on. Jobs is pretty scarce around here now.
I don't hardly know where to start out to look for one. Figured a little later on in the year, around crop gathering time, I might could get a job picking cotton or something.
Yeah, you could do that all right, I reckon.
But I've got to have something to do for then. I've got to eat.
Yeah. Well, let's see now. There ought to be somebody around here that's needing a hand.
Of course, I know the store business better than anything else.
Yeah, natural, sure.
Don't reckon you know of anybody in the store business that's needing a hand, do you?
No, I reckon not.
I thought maybe you might know somebody that's fired the boy that's been helping them or something.
No. Have you talked to Dick Huddleston then? He might be needing somebody.
Well, Dick never does hire no outside help, though. He's got his woman there to help him, you know.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Your woman never does help you down here, does she?
Oh, no, she don't know nothing about working in a store. Besides, she's got all she can see after there on the place. She put in a big crop this year. Takes up all our time.
That just leaves you here in the store by yourself, don't it?
Yeah, it does. Now, I just don't see how I'm going to tend to it all by myself, neither. I sure don't.
Well, what you need is a good man to help you.
Yeah, but now that's something that's hard to find. Especially somebody you can trust.
Yeah. That's one thing I can say for myself is I'm honest. Yeah, me and you always trusted one another, didn't we?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Did you ever worry any when you left me and the cash drawer both here by ourselves?
Why, no. But now, it ain't everybody as honest as you are, neither, Long. But I'll find somebody, though, I reckon. Give me time.
Well, you know, I was telling you a minute ago that I was needing a job.
Yeah, I'm still trying to think here. Now, there's bound to be a place for you somewhere, Long.
Yeah, think hard.
I'll tell you.
Huh?
George Hughes over at Cherry Hill. Now, he's doing a big business that store here. Now, he might need some extra help over there, Long.
The trouble is, though, I hate to leave Pine Ridge, Abner. I got my place here and everything.
Yeah, that's right, too. Sure.
Be a heap better if I could get a job in some store here.
Yeah. Well, you might see Dick. He might change his mind and hire somebody. You can't tell.
Well, to tell you the truth, Abner, I've done spoke to Dick about it. Tried him.
Well, wait a minute here. What's the matter with me, anyway?
Go ahead, Abner. What'd you start to say?
Oh, sworn to goodness, if I ain't a dummy.
Yeah.
Never once entered my mind.
Well, I wondered.
You don't care who you work for, do you?
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, I've got the very job for you then.
Well, good. When do I go to work?
Well, I don't know about that now. I don't even know what he'll pay, but I know he's needing somebody badly.
He is? Who you talking about, anyway?
Luke Spears. He was in here this morning wanting somebody to wash dishes down there at his restaurant. I just plumb let it slip my mind, I reckon.
You mean you want me to start washing dishes for a living?
No, Luke's the one that's looking for a dishwasher, not me.
Well, can't you think of nobody else is needing somebody, Abner?
No. Listen, this Walt Bates, now, he was hiring some hands last week. He's putting in a logging camp over there near the head of Rock Creek.
Logging camp, huh?
Yeah, but now that's pretty hard work there on that logging. I don't know where you could stand up under it or not at your age.
Yeah, that's the trouble. That dishwashing is too light a work for me, and I'm afraid logging will be too hard for me.
Yeah, you're just too heavy for light work and too light for heavy work, looks like.
I wish there was a store job open for me somewhere. I'm just the right weight for that.
Yeah.
I'd dig right in and straighten up the shelves and sweep out and dust and all that stuff. If there's having a sale, I could help mark the sale price on everything, too.
Yeah, well, that'd be a heap better than going on a release.
Going on a release?
Yeah, I'd hate to see you have to do that, Lum.
Oh, Granny, I'd take the dishwashing job before I'd do that.
And I don't believe you and Luke's wife would ever get along, old Lum. She's awful hard to work for, they tell me.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. It's nice that you ain't in my fix, Abner, because you got a family.
Yeah.
You ought to be awful glad that you got the store instead of the picture show when we unresolved partnership.
Oh, my, yes, I should say I am.
I reckon it don't matter much about me. Does seem funny, though. Here we've been partners all these years. Now you've got a nice store here, doing well, and I ain't got nothing. Just shows it's a small world after all. Here today, gone tomorrow.
Hey, you ain't a figuring on leaving, are you?
Oh, no.
I thought you said something about you was here today, but you was going to be gone tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't aim to leave unless I have to. May have to go to the poorhouse the way it looks. Over the hill to the poorhouse.
Reckon why they always put them things on the other side of a hill that way. Bad enough for a feller to have to walk on level ground to get to them, much less having to climb clean over a hill.
I don't know. I hate to think about it. Does look like a shame man get up my age, always being uncommonly big successful, and all of a sudden wake up and find yourself without nothing. A failure.
Oh, well, now, I wouldn't call you a failure, Lum.
Well, I ain't got no job or nothing. Got $1.43 in my pocket.
Well, Lum, I don't want to make you mad by saying it. I know nearly that you ain't going to like the idea of working for me, but I'm needing somebody to help me here in the store the worst way. And if you will consider doing it, why, it'll be a big commendation for me.
Say that again, Abner.
Well, now, don't get mad now, Lum.
Mad? Granny, that's what I come over here for.
Well, why in the world didn't you say so? I just busting to ask you, but I said you think I was trying to show off in front of you.
You mean you'll give me a job helping you here in the store?
Why, sure. Be tickled to death to have you.
Granny's I'm hired.
What a come down for the former president and manager of the Jot 'em Down store. Abner Peabody, proprietor. Lum Edwards, clerk and delivery boy. This is Carlton Brickert speaking for Lum and Abner and Horlicks, who now bid you all goodbye until tomorrow at this same time.